Hi friends, it's Emily from Weaverville Methodist. We are going to talk about part 2 of our story from Acts this week. Jennifer last week led us through the story of the Hebraic Jews and the Grecian Jews who were coming together to form a big family of God. And as two different groups of people were coming together, they were working through some things that were difficult. Sometimes they didn't feel like things were quite fair. The Grecian Jews and the Hebraic Jews were living together in Israel, and the community of God, this new family of God that they had built together, were helping each other out by combining all their resources, which is a fancy word for food and clothing and different things that people needed to survive. They were sort of combining all those things together and then handing them out to each other equally so that they could survive in Israel together. Well, in both groups, both the Grecian Jews and the Hebraic Jews, there were women called widows, and the widows didn't have husbands anymore. And it was the job of the community, it was the job of the family of God to take care of these widows. And one way that they did that was making sure that the widows were fed. Well, the Grecian Jews started noticing, it doesn't look like the widows that are in our Greek-speaking family here are getting the same amount of food as the Hebraic-speaking women. And it seemed like that because the Hebraic Jews were getting more food for their widows than the Grecian Jews were, it made the Grecian Jews feel kind of like outsiders. Have you ever felt like you were an outsider? The Jews got together and they went and talked to the disciples. We want to make sure that everything is fair. Well, the disciples really listened to the Grecian Jews' complaints. So the disciples called everyone together and they had a meeting. And that's a chance for everybody to get together and talk about the problem and figure out a solution. And they thought, boy, we gotta fix this problem, but we are only a small group. And we are preaching and praying and helping to make sure that the word of God and the message of Jesus gets to everybody. And we're not sure that we can also feed everybody and make sure that all of the people in our family have what they need. And so the disciples said that there were other people that needed to take responsibility for making sure that the food got to everybody that needed it. Disciples asked the groups to choose from the community, the new family of God, 7 men that could be in charge of this food situation. These are the names of the 7 people that were chosen: Stephen, Philip, Prochorus, Nicanor, Timon, Parmenas, and Nicholas from Antioch. And guess what? Nicholas wasn't even Jewish. But he was a follower of Jesus. Guess what? All the 7 people were Grecian Jews. They put 7 of the Grecian Jews in charge of the entire Hebraic and Greek family to make sure that everything was separated equally. It caused more people to notice this group of the family of God and go, hey, I want to be a part of that. Look how they take care of each other. And that helped the family of God to grow. And so, friends, the purpose of today is that we want to remember this story about how the disciples helped work out a problem with these Grecian Jews and these Hebraic Jews who came from 2 different cultures. They came from 2 different countries, and somehow they worked it out together to be in this family. And it's important for us to treat people with kindness and compassion and gentleness and humility and try to solve our conflicts with each other in a positive way, thinking about how the other person feels. That's the way God's family works. I'm so glad you joined us today. It's been neat talking about this story from Acts, and we'll continue in the book of Acts for the next week, and you'll have to tune in to find out what that story is. All right, see you soon.